4, 3, 2, 1.
Studio Classroom is
Please stand by.
Studio Classroom is on the air.
Welcome to Studio Classroom on the air. You're just in time for a great lesson. What fun! My name is Gabe.
And I'm Anne-Marie. Here's a question for you. Do you like island hopping? Have you ever been island hopping?
Well, first of all, friends, island hopping is traveling from one island to another, or to maybe even more, as a tourist in an area of small islands. And a few years ago, I went with my siblings to the Indonesian island of Lombok, and from there we went to the smaller islands off the coast of Lombok called the Gili Islands, and there are 3 Gili Islands, and we went to 2 of those islands. So I guess that counts as island hopping.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. If you have never gone island hopping, friends, get ready. Today we are going island hopping in our lesson called Island of Wonders.
And of course, Island of Wonders is referring to Madagascar. So we'll be getting off the coast of the Great Island to some smaller ones close by. Today is a great day to learn something new.
Let's see what else we can learn about Madagascar together.
Island of Wonders. Nosy Be is one of several small islands near Madagascar's northwest coast. It's sometimes called the Island of Perfumes because of its flowers and spices. If you enjoy snorkeling and surfing, this volcanic island is the place for you. If you prefer the rainforest, head to the neighboring island of Nosy Komba. Here you can spot a relative of the monkey that is found only in Madagascar, the lemur. Most lemurs are friendly. In fact, don't be surprised if one jumps on your shoulder.
Hello everyone, welcome to Language Lab. I'm Jack. 今天要看的第一个字是形容词 volcanic， 意思是火山的。例如 Hawaii has 2 volcanic peaks that are more than 4,000 meters high. 夏威夷有2座火山山峰，高度呢是高达4000多公尺。或是 volcanic ash can affect air travel because it can damage airplane engines. 火山灰会影响空中的交通，因为火山灰会损坏飞机的引擎。再举个例子 California has been experiencing a lot of volcanic activity recently. 加州最近火山活动非常的频繁。名词 volcano 指的就是火山。接下来我们来看 relative， 在文章里面是当名词，意思是亲戚。譬如说 I only have one living blood relative, my brother. 我只有一个血亲还在世，就是我的兄弟。或是 Most of our relatives celebrate Thanksgiving together with a big meal at our grandparents' house. 我们大多数的亲戚呢，都会在祖父母家一起吃大餐，庆祝感恩节。形容词 related 指有亲戚关系的，例如 Helen and Joel are related by marriage. Helen's sister is married to Joel. Helen 跟 Joel 是姻亲。Helen 的姐姐嫁给 Joel。好的 ，Let's get back to our teachers.
Thank you very much, Jack. Well, as you just saw, we are island hopping here in this first section. So what is the first island off the coast that we would like to talk about?
Looks like we're talking about Nosy Be. Let's read what our article says. Nosy Be is one of several small islands near Madagascar's northwest coast. It's sometimes called the island of perfumes because of its flowers and spices.
Well, is smell something you ever travel for, Anne-Marie? Do you ever go to a place because you've heard of how amazing it smells?
Not in particular, but while I was in Malaysia, we actually did take a hike to see a flower that supposedly smelled very, very bad. Have you heard of, they're nicknamed death flowers.
Oh my goodness.
Have you heard of those before?
Why would anybody travel to smell a terrible smelling flower?
Well, it's very, very large and they're actually very rare.
Oh.
So it's very hard to see them in bloom. They only bloom for a few hours or even days at a time. So we did specifically take a several-hour hike to see those special flowers.
Did it live up to its reputation? Did it smell terrible, just like the name kind of implies?
Well, I think we caught it at the end of its bloom, so it was not that bad, thankfully.
Well, that's good. I've been to spice farms, but of course those smell great. I mean, there's so many different wonderful smelling spices. And our lesson's talking about this place that has many flowers and spices. We read here, if you enjoy snorkeling and surfing, this volcanic island is the place for you. The idea I get here, if some place is a volcanic place, that means there were perhaps many volcanoes in the past, and a lot of the terrain is there because of what the volcanoes created or left behind.
Now, what about this phrase here? If we say something is the place for you, let's explain that for a minute.
Yeah, if something is the place for you, or this is the thing for you, oh, that's the perfect meal for you, that's just another way of talking about how suitable something is for somebody.
For example, if you love coffee, the new cafe on the corner is the restaurant for you. That means that that coffee shop has exactly something that you would like.
And if you would like to improve your English, studio classroom is the place for you.
That's right.
Well, we continue here. If you prefer the rainforest, head to the neighboring island of Nosy Komba. So the main thing about Nosy Be was it's a volcanic island. And here's something that makes Nosy Komba special. You'll get a very big rainforest feel.
We read on. Here you can spot a relative of the monkey that is found only in Madagascar, the lemur. Maybe you've seen lemurs in zoos before, friends.
Yeah, I have seen lemurs only in zoos. I would love to see a lemur in the wild or in its where they usually come from in Madagascar. This is a ring-tailed lemur. There are many different kinds of lemurs. We read here, most lemurs are friendly. In fact, don't be surprised if one jumps on your shoulder.
Well, that would be a surprise.
I know, how wonderful, right? Well, hey, there's a phrase here that's found only in Madagascar, and we wanted to talk about something that does not appear in your lesson, but it also describes these relatives to monkeys pretty well too. They are native to Madagascar. That means they come from, and probably only from, Madagascar.
It usually means too, for example, that maybe that animal could only be found in that place. Do you know of any other animals that can only be found in a very specific location?
Yeah, I was looking things up because there are many. The kangaroo rat, which is a very cute little mouse with a long tail, it's found in western North America. Some website said the Santa Cruz area, but I think it's found all along northern West America. Also, recently, not too many months ago, we talked about the Galapagos Islands, and the marine iguana is native to the Galapagos Islands off the coast of Ecuador.
You know, when I hear the phrase native to, I think of an animal that is native to an area that I live.
Oh, in Kaohsiung.
Yes, we have a very special monkey down there that is native only to one specific mountain in that city. A lot of people do not enjoy these monkeys. They're very, very famous for stealing people's food. Sometimes they attack people. But yes, when I hear native to, that's exactly what I think of.
They get very aggressive sometimes.
They are aggressive monkeys.
Yeah, usually they don't fight people or attack people, but they're not afraid to approach them and take their food. I've been there before, somewhere near, in between Tainan and Kaohsiung, I think Fengshan or something like that. I like those monkeys, but I don't see them all the time.
Yeah, I don't particularly like those monkeys.
All right. Well, speaking of monkeys, friends, right now it's time for us to learn some monkey phrases in the Info Cloud.
Hello, friends. Welcome to InfoCloud. In English, sometimes we use animal words to describe an action or situation. Today, we are going to talk about a word and an animal, a monkey.
Oh, a monkey reminds me of something that's very silly or someone who is naughty. Not exactly a positive image.
That's basically the idea. We sometimes use monkey business to describe behaviors or actions that are silly or not serious enough.
For example, when kids are being noisy or misbehaving in class, you can say, the teacher needs to stop this monkey business in class.
Monkey business can also be used to describe something immoral or deceitful, such as, there is some monkey business going on in this election.
Monkey can also be used as a verb, to monkey around. When someone monkeys around, they are wasting time by doing something that is not productive or meaningful.
If someone is playing video games all day, when they have work to do, you can tell them, stop monkeying around. Get to work.
西方人有时候会用动物的名称来形容不同的事情。今天跟大家分享的是 monkey 猴子。通常 monkey 给人的印象是很喜欢捣蛋，非常调皮，也不会做任何有意义的工作。因此我们会用 monkey business 来形容一件事情很没有意义或是很愚蠢。像是 The teacher needs to stop the kids' monkey business in class. 这位老师应该喝止小朋友们在班上捣乱的行为。其他比较严重的例子是There is monkey business going on in this election. 在这场选举中，有些不太道德的事情发生哦。Monkey 也可以当动词使用，像是 monkey around。如果有人整天打电玩不工作，你可以说 Stop monkeying around and start working. 别再打混了，开始工作吧。这就是今天的 InfoCloud， 我们下次云端见。
Studio Classroom is on the air.
Oh, there's Anne-Marie. I wonder what she's doing. Oh.
Gabe, you're a little too close.
Well, that's because I'm really curious about what you're reading. Are you looking at your Facebook feed? Anything new with your friends back home? Can I see how many likes you have on your most recent post?
Gabe, you're being really nosy.
You said nosy. Friends, we just learned about two nosy places, Nosy Bee and Nosy Komba.
In case you're wondering, I'm looking at pictures of Tsingy de Bemaraha.
Oh, great place. Let's learn about that right now. Island of Wonders. Next, head back down the mainland's west coast to the Tsingy de Bemaraha Strict Nature Reserve, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Over many years, shells were exposed to rainwater and air here, forming this vast collection of sharp peaks. Finally, journey 150 kilometers south to see the Avenue of the Baobabs. Baobab trees can grow as tall as 30 meters and live for over 800 years. The top branches of these trees resemble tree roots, which makes them look as if they were planted upside down. All of these magnificent sights and more await you in Madagascar.
"好，我们再来看下一个字，是名词 mainland。在文章里的意思是主要的陆地或是岛屿，通称为大陆或本土。譬如说 It's about a 5-hour flight from Hawaii to California, which is on the mainland's west coast. 搭飞机从夏威夷到加州，也就是美国本土的西岸，大约要花5小时。或是呢 ，She drives to her job on the mainland every day from her island home via the new bridge。她每天从居住的岛屿开车经过这座桥到本土去上班。Mainland 也可以做形容词，意思是大陆的。例如 Thailand gets many tourists from mainland China every year。泰国每年有很多从中国大陆来的观光客。最后我们来看的字是动词 resemble， 意思是相似，看起来像。譬如说 ，Two of our 5 children resemble their father, and 3 of them resemble me。我们有5个孩子，当中有2个长得像爸爸，3个长得像我。或是 Tommy received so many presents for his birthday that his room resembles a toy store. Tommy 收到好多生日礼物，以至于他的房间看起来好像玩具店。或者 Some very poisonous plants resemble plants with berries you can eat, so be careful. 有些呢有剧毒的植物看起来像可食用的莓果植物，所以要小心。All right, let's get back to our teachers.
Well, thank you very much, Jack. Friends, let's continue with this lesson here. Next, head back down the mainland's west coast to the Tsingy de Bemaraha Strict Nature Reserve, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This place looks really interesting. I would love to see, we see what it's made of or what happened here. Over many years, shells were exposed to rainwater and air here, forming this vast collection of sharp peaks.
Those do look really sharp to me. It almost looks like they come to a very, very fine point at the top, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's some places where there are little suspension bridges and you can walk along. But yeah, you don't want to fall off into this area. It sounds like that would be kind of painful.
It does look rather painful.
All right, well, we continue. Finally, journey the 150 kilometers south to see the Avenue of the Baobabs. Baobab trees can grow as tall as 30 meters and live for over 800 years. Friends, let's take a look at this sentence pattern. To grow as tall as, or to verb as adjective as, you use this kind of sentence pattern to express the limit of something.
For example, maybe you have seen a sign in an elevator before that says, this elevator can hold as many as 10 people. So what that means is that if you add 11 people, the elevator will not be able to hold it. 10 people is the limit.
That's right. And the baobabs in our lesson, they can grow to be as tall as 30 meters. So probably most baobabs don't grow to be that tall, but they could. Some do anyway. We read on here, the top branches of these trees resemble tree roots, which makes them look as if they were planted upside down. And these trees really do look like they're planted upside down. If something is upside down, that means the side that is supposed to be up is actually down.
You know, when I hear this phrase, it reminds me of a related phrase, inside out.
Ah, yes. Please tell us how to use that phrase, inside out, and what does it mean?
Well, I think the most common way I've heard it before is with clothing. If you take off your clothes and you're not careful, and they might end up so that what's on the inside ends up on the outside, and what's on the outside ends up on the inside, inside out.
That's right, and a sign that you're wearing your clothes inside out might be your tag is on the outside, right? That's wearing it inside out. It also makes me think of that fun animated film called Inside Out, about the emotions that we all have. We read on here, all of these magnificent sights and more await you in Madagascar. Well, there is something waiting for us, and that is a review quiz in today's SC Challenge. It is the first SC Challenge for the month of March in 2021. Let's see who's playing with us.
I'm here. Hello, everyone. My name's Andrea.
And my name is Daniel. It's good to see everyone here today.
Yes, it is. It's great to have everybody here in the studio. And our lesson is about Madagascar. There's a lot that we can learn and review. And friends, I believe you are probably more familiar with our lesson, having just learned about it, than our contestants are. Let's see how they do. Let's see how they do. Here is number 1. True or false? The movie Madagascar is based on a true story. Yeah.
False.
That is false. And guess what? I was just kidding, guys. That's not actually one of the questions. You know, that's an animated movie. Okay, here we go. Number 1, Madagascar produces 2/3 of the world's what? Yes, Andrea?
Okay, Madagascar produces 2/3 of the world's vanilla.
My other options here were chickens, coconut oil, or scooters. You still want to go with vanilla?
Yes.
Okay, well, you're correct.
Sorry,
right.
I didn't let you give your choices.
Well, that's okay. You just knew the answer. Okay, here's number 2. What animal might you see off the coast of Madagascar between June and September? Any guesses? The closest match. Whoever has the closest match to the correct...
Penguins.
Penguins.
I was going to say penguins.
Yeah, well,
I was going to say
I said it
penguins.
first.
Well, that's not correct.
Oh.
Anything else? Off the coast. Think you're in a boat. You're off the... Yes.
When I
Daniel.
mean penguins, I actually mean dolphins.
Dolphins are related, I believe, to this much larger...
Whales.
Yes,
Orca whales.
not orca whales.
Humpback whales.
Humpback whales
Humpbacks.
is correct. Andrea has 2 points. Here is number 3. Which of the following is most likely to jump on your shoulder? A, an ATV. B, a whale. C, a lemur. Or D, a baobab.
A lemur.
A was ATV. Oh, you're saying
A
C.
lemur.
Right, C is a lemur.
C is a lemur.
Daniel finally gets 1 point. Very nice job.
Thank you.
But Andrea's still the winner. Well, thank you, friends, for joining us for today's SC Challenge.
Woo! I'm sorry.
Well, friends, this lesson uses a lot of descriptive words that paint clear pictures in the reader's mind. I'm thinking from the first day we were learning about waves crashing and the majestic humpback whales, and now here in today's lesson, lemurs and sharp peaks, baobabs. When is it most suitable to use writing like this and really descriptive words like adjectives? And when is it least suitable? Let's talk about that. Do you have an idea?
Well, I like to read descriptive words when I'm thinking about going somewhere or traveling somewhere or maybe researching something.
So that's perfect for a lesson like this because this is our travel
Absolutely,
lesson.
for sure. Because it lets me know more about that thing I'm researching. It tells me exactly what to expect and it kind of shows the full range of something.
Yeah, for sure. So it could be good to use big descriptive words and a lot of adjectives to describe things, to paint a picture in people's minds that are reading. Is there a time when it's not suitable to use adjectives like this? Or sometimes we use the word flowery language when we talk about a lot of adjectives in a piece of writing.
That's a good point. For me, in my opinion, I think that this kind of language is least suitable when we're talking about things like the local news or reading things in the newspaper. Sometimes these words have more of an idea of your own opinion or how you
Exactly.
view things.
Exactly. Often when we use an adjective, it's because we think that way about something, but those kind of opinions are not appropriate for the news or things like that. We'll talk about that, friends. When is it most appropriate to use this kind of descriptive language, and when is it least suitable? And we'll see you next time for another lesson right here on
Studio Classroom.
Friend lasts a lifetime. I am so proud to have you in my life. A good friend lasts a lifetime.